Going to start this live stream a couple minutes early and see how it's going. Well, it sure seems to be okay. Not using any memory. The CPU's nearly sleeping. Be with you in a couple of minutes. We've gone live, it looks like so. Flip this camera around here in a second. Get some of these rolls started out. Alrighty. Oh, look at me. I didn't bring my garbage can back in. What am I going to do with my paper rolls? I think I have a bag in here. Huh. Logitech 615 camera over here. I used it for a week and decided it wasn't good enough and got the C920, and I'm not happy with that either. But that's what I got. Last night we had some buffering issues. Wow, it's getting chilly outside. Close that window. Had some buffering issues last night, so I decided to go through half the box and stop there. Actually found, what we got here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wheats. 7 wheats out of 22 rolls. And maybe we'll find something better here. I am throwing the copper out. I don't expect to ever do anything with it unless the guy that I mentioned a couple of times decides he wants them. Because we're not going to... There's an older Canadian, 1961. Canadian goes by itself. Still pulling out. There's 3, 4 in a row coppers. 70D, 73, 79, 81. I've already got, look at that, one roll, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 coppers so far. There's 12, 62. Bunch of junk. Boy, so these pennies are really corroded around here. 72. Looking for the error coins too, of course. There's lots of them. I've got a jug where all the copper goes into, which it's probably about, I don't know, maybe 21, 22 pounds right now. What's copper at? Well, it's almost 2 to 1. What copper pennies, the 95%ers are worth. I think for $100 it was 190 something. I know silver's gone up today. I looked at it just a bit ago. It closed out at 17.45. It's been fluctuating though up and down quite a bit over the past several months. It's jumped around quite rapidly. Closed out last Friday at 16.80 something, and 83 double die possibility. I have double die on everything anymore, it seems. Anybody like the shield penny? I don't like what it looks like. It's chintzy looking. Just cheap. What are you doing, dog? A boxer behind me. A lot of luster on some of these in the 60s and 70s. 78 with a lot of luster. Well, I've been averaging what? About 14, 15. Nice 68. Averaging 14 or 15 wheats out of a box. It's not a lot, but that's the way it goes. Seems like it's always about that number too, 14 or 15. I did have one with, did get a box with 17 in it, but I don't think I've ever had a box with more than 17. I don't do pennies that much. I guess that's why my channel name is Paulie Nickels, because I do go through a lot of nickels. I'm using my goggles too to see, so I can get through these a little faster. That's the only 83. There's a wheat, 1955, Philadelphia. You know, it's not a double die. Wouldn't expect to find one of them, but then I didn't expect to find a 50D nickel in AU or better condition than a box of nickels either. But it happened. Very first box. See, I don't see any buffering happening tonight. Last night it was buffering like crazy. I don't know if it was YouTube or what. I kept watching the software, and it wasn't didn't have any glitches in it. I went through a list of JB's coins there. He had a list of coins with errors, and I just can't believe the number of errors that are. There's a 54 Philadelphia. Looks like one of those Woodies. Well, that's two out of 5 rolls. I sure wish I could open these the way I open nickels in half rolls. Just strip the ends off and do it. What are you doing, dog? You're roaming around. How many have found Indian heads in their penny searching? Who's here? Yeah, I don't like the. How you doing, coin and card? Yeah, I don't like the penny. I don't. 82 almost looks double. Almost, but not quite. Jesus, half that roll is shield pennies. Pull all these coppers out. I hope this guy will take them off my hands, because I really hate to just take them back to the bank and have them roll them up. I suppose they can sit in these big jugs. Not a big deal. There's, I don't know, 20, 22 pounds. I can't remember how many pennies are in a pound. Jeez, 7 years, huh? You know what? That's what, I shouldn't think about the old days, because it's not like it's, frustrating or anything. Don't expect to find that now, but we go through a $50 bag of pennies back in 1966, 67, 68, in them years. We'd find one or two. They were still out there. Same with the Buffaloes and Shield nickels. Shield nickels probably maybe one or two a bag. Maybe, and then they get 2 or 3 bags are done, and then they just pop up again. Not Shield nickels, V nickels. But the Indian heads were every now and then. But as far as war nickels, they were pretty much a major find in the 60s. It wasn't that long, 1945, 20 years later, there's still a lot of them in circulation. But as far as wheats go, a third of a $50 bag with wheats easily. Nope. Not today. I'm hoping to find, I've yet to find a really, really nice wheat at all. I've not found one yet. But I zip through these pretty darn quick. That 2000's got a pretty high rim on it. Not worth taking out though. I'm gonna put a close up. I'm gonna take a close up picture of this 1990. What did I do with it? 1994. I took a picture of it and stuck it on coin roll hunting on YouTube, on Facebook. Um, yes, it obviously is some type of error. I don't know whether it's somebody said it might be a grease error. That seems to be such a common error these days. I have to admit, I up until a year ago, I never really heard of a grease error. I don't recall them back in the old days when we were searching through coins and finding errors and calling it a grease error. Um, but wow, I wish that was a 58, 78 uncirculated, but I don't want it. It looks like 82 small date. It looks like the 9, the second 9 of 94 is almost not there. And the IBE in Liberty is non-existent also. It just looks like it didn't get struck very hard. It could be, I guess, something on the die or whatever. I guess that is a possibility. Like I say, I'm not that familiar with grease errors. Well, a lot of these 60s, mid 60s and early 70s are awfully lustrous. 7 years to find 2 Indian heads. That's well, they're not going to be out there, and even somebody who doesn't collect coins is that's 282 small days. Um, Even somebody who doesn't collect coin is going to spot that. It's gonna look odd. I thought that the same thing about the was the 82 large date. Um, I thought the same of the two silver certificates I got in change at 7-Eleven within I guess it was 2 weeks of one another. So, and I just talked to the girl up there again tonight. I asked her how many ones she had, and she said I just dropped a whole bunch, but I got a few. I said, well, here I got 50 of them in my wallet. Why don't you give me whatever you got and I'll trade you. But there wasn't anything interesting in the one she gave me. But I asked her, and they're keeping an eye out for me. You know, I've noticed. Hmm, I've noticed that really, when you get down to it, in collecting currency, so much of it is so overpriced on eBay. I mean, some of these guys are asking uh, 15, 18, 20 bucks for a circulated common. There are some out there that are worth a little bit more, but the E series, they aren't worth nothing. They're asking 15 bucks, and then they're wondering why they're not selling. That was an 82 Canadian. This guy over here likes the Canadian coppers. I guess copper's copper. But they just want so much for them. There's one guy I will get I do get occasionally uh, silver certificates from on eBay when I find the ones that I'm looking for. M bar coins or whatever it is. Really nice guy, and he doesn't even ask a lot for them. Hi Gary. He doesn't ask a lot for them either. He puts them up at a nominal price. I'm surprised people aren't bidding on them because I see some of these. Excuse me. I see some of these silver certificates in pretty worn, wrinkled up condition, and they're bidding $5, $6, $7 on them. They're not worth it. They're just not worth it. Uh, Numismatically, they're not worth it. I suppose if somebody just wants them, it's okay. It's okay to want something and pay whatever you want, but there are a lot of good deals out there that you don't have to pay a ton. Another guy I deal with is this guy here, collector something or other. I get any proofs that let me go to OBS real quick. Any proofs that I want to get. This is a guy that I go to because his proof coins are like this. This is um, it's been graded, of course, NGC, and it's 69. I got a couple of 70 proof coins coming. I think they're going to be here probably Thursday. And he's really reasonable. He does put them up for auction on eBay, but we've talked, and now he gives me a rate on what I'm looking for. I'll tell him what I want, and he'll send me a price, and we can dicker a little bit. I usually don't. He usually has a pretty darn good price on them. He's only charging me like 15% above gray sheet, and I'll take that any day of the week. Back in the day when I first started, that was my biggest mistake. I saw a coin that looked good, and I'd be willing to pay a whole heck of a lot more than what it was worth. Thank God for the gentleman that my dad introduced. There's a 1948 Canadian, King George. Don't find too many old Canadians around here, even though we're right next to the border almost. But thank God for Walton teaching me not to go crazy on something I liked. There's another thing too that a lot of collectors get into when they first start, and this is something that's very important when it comes to your pocketbook. Rather than have quantity, say you got 40 or 50 Buffalo nickels in crappy shape. Save that money and get something. Go with MS condition. Quality is a lot better than quantity. Um, you don't want to sink a lot of money into a bunch of second-rate coins unless you're trying to fill a collection, and the semi-key and key dates are way up there, and you really can't afford to go out and put a bundle on one coin. But quality is much more. Hi, Peter. Much more important when it comes down to collecting, and there's so many different oops sources for coin collecting. I just go by whatever I learned back in 50 or 40, no, 50 years ago. Yeah, it's been 50 years. 66. It was I was 14. I'm now 65, so it's been 50 years when I first started. And like anything else, there's more experts out there today. Some of them I don't listen to because I think they're experts in their own mind. Really, where do my pennies go? Uh, but really, if you wanna get coins that and watch the trends of the value. Some coins constantly go up. Some coins just slowly. Sometimes they slowly diminish, they decrease in price that you don't notice until you realize, geez, I paid twice what this is worth 10 years ago. Just gotta watch the market, watch the trends, and see what's popular. And look at this. Look how much copper. Look at this is just the copper out of this box so far. Out of what have I got left? 5, 10, 15. I got 18 rolls left, so 32 rolls. I generally pull out about $5 in copper out of each box. It's usually about 20%, or 10%, I'm sorry. Usually around 10% or more that I get in copper. I am looking for error coins, double dies, 83, 84, 56. Anything that hits my eye, and I've looked at so many coins over the years that you'll spot it, and you'll spot it pretty quickly. Well, I don't know why there's so many 72s that are in great shape. You can't hear me. Let me see, Gary. My volume's way up. Yeah, I'm checking it out. I don't know if I dare. If I turn on the whoever else is watching, can you hear me? Okay. Let me get over here a second. All right, Pete. Well, Gary says he can't hear me. Pete says he can, and Coin and Cards says he can't hear me. What the heck is going on? Volume's up loud. And it's up louder than I normally have it. It's usually I listen to it afterwards and always remind myself to turn it down on the next stream. Huh. Alrighty. Let me go over to the computer, which is halfway across the room, and check with my earphones. Test. Yeah, I've got volume here. I can hear it coming through YouTube okay. I can hear it all right. How many weeks have I pulled out since I started here with this part 2? Wow, that's terrible. Whoops. And Gary's going to restart his phone. Maybe that'll help. I hate opening these rolls like this. But I tried to open the penny rolls like I do the nickel and the half rolls. Quarter rolls, I think I can open them that way too. But I just used my thumbnails. I let them, somebody painted that penny. I let my thumbnails grow just a little bit. And I tried to open a penny roll and I broke off the corner of it. So but it is so much nicer just to open a roll of nickels and pull the whole thing out and not have to worry about dropping them or fighting with the ends of the rolls. Gary come back yet? 59, getting close to another week. I'm gonna set out that 70S. I still haven't found. I did mention last night I may have found a 70S small bit. I still haven't gone back to look at it. I've got perspective. Good God, perspective double dice. Yeah, these are the years with perspective double dice right here that I've yet to go through. I've still got to go through all these darn pennies. 83, 84, 56s. You know the 70S's. A lot of 70S's in here. And I've got to just take the time one of these nights and instead of continually going through coin. Wait a minute, I thought that was a 53. Instead of continually going through new coin, I got to take the time and start searching those. Today, being that wheat pennies are something you're not going to find, very prevalent. I mean, I found six. What did I say, 6 or 7? 7. So far, I've found 9 in this box. 9 wheats, and they aren't worth anything. You know that. If they're not, I mean, what are they? $3 a roll? I can get wheats for 40s and 50s for generally about 240 to 260 a roll. 5, 10. Got 16 or 17 rolls left in this box, and I have found 9 wheats. So if you're going to look for something in pennies, copper, yeah, but you can't melt them. There is one company. They did a big thing on him on TV recently. He sells copper. They did not buy the amount, $100, $500, whatever. And he's doing a good business. People are buying them. I don't know if they're taking them to a smelter or they're melting them down or what, but if you can melt them, of course you're gonna almost double your money. But if that were to happen, if the government decided they'd step in and say, let's give permission to melt them, copper wouldn't be worth anything. It wouldn't be. It would the price of it would drop, and that would be the end of that. So there's about 4, 5. And these shield pennies, God, they're ugly. It just wouldn't do any good, if somebody here and there. There's a 76. It looks almost uncirculated. I put the better older ones together. There's an 83. It's got the double chin, double ear, double beard, double whatever. But I enjoy nickels better. I enjoy halves even more. You can go through $100 or $500 in halves in 20 minutes. But there's not a whole lot out here. Wheat cents are fun. I'm not doing this by any means only as a hobby. That's all it is. It may be an investment for the grandkids down the road if we're still using coin 30 or 40 years from now. There's so much copper still in circulation. But I just throw it over there, and then the other ones. Well, I just threw a copper away. Shame on me, huh? the other ones over here, I'll go through the coin and look for the variations and the doubling and so forth. And 84's got the double chin. That's right. 83 is a double die reverse, I do believe. Can't keep up with them anymore. Everything's got an error. Somebody beat the heck out of that one. You know, I find this. I don't know how everybody searches their coins. 2009, you don't see many of them. I don't know how everybody. I've watched people, dump them out and then search through them with their fingers. That's just too time consuming. Takes too long. I've done it this way, even when we used to get the bags of nickels instead of pennies. Now, when I say bags, I don't mean bags of rolled pennies. I'm talking about loose bags of pennies and nickels. They came in a burlap bag, and then you pull them out by the handful, or as when I started collecting with my mom after I collected with Walt Butters for so long, we'd dump them out on the dining room table and pull a wad of them toward us and go through them that way. But I see him dump them out on the table and do this kind of thing. That's nuts, man. That's now I've done it. Now I feel like I feel all discombobulated and disorganized. That takes longer. You don't really see what's going on, and you're gonna miss a lot of things too. I noticed one guy was doing it not recently, but a while back on YouTube, and he wasn't really looking at the dates. He said, "Well, that looks new, so I won't look at that one." So I assume he was looking at the reverse of it, and I can't do this. I can't do it like this. Now I went over to my other stack. Uh, I've got to have them laid out so I can see how the hell you guys do it like this. This is nuts. There's two stuck together. All right. No, that's awkward. 11 weeks per box. Yeah, that's about right, I guess, Gary. I write them down. I do write them down. The last three, four boxes. Where's my books on the other side of the room? I know the last two were 14 and 15, or vice versa, but 14 and 15 out of the last two boxes. This is much quicker to do it this way, and I generally lay out between 10 and 15 pennies, and I can see what I've got. I can see the dates. I can zoom through them, any perspective double dies and such, and I use these right above you. This is only 10 bucks, guys, and I'll tell you what, it really saves on the eyes when you go through thousands of coins a week. Yeah, Gary, I've noticed that too. Not a 58 so much, but I've been getting a lot of 60s that have an awful lot of mint luster. Now, the 82, I do believe, also has a double die, and that looks a little fishy, so rather than throw it in the bulk of the rest of them, I'll take a look at it better with the loop. But, nah, get through it. If you can get through a roll of pennies, I know you don't want to zoom through them. You don't want to miss anything, but I've done it for so long that I feel pretty, it was a 79, it looked AU. I feel pretty confident that I'm not missing anything. Yeah, chocolate color. Chocolate and gold, and those are the nice tones. I almost got that off without. Yeah. It looks like this is, no, I thought it was older than that, 73. Canadian. 80, 82, 82. Is that a small date? Nope. And one of them was zinc. I can tell I shouldn't have stuffed it in that pile, but I'll take it out. So how many do I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 I pulled on this one. But it's quicker. I feel it's more efficient to do it like this because you get to look at every coin. Huh. You know, that's another thing. I find very few. It's another 70S. I find very few S mint marks in the 70s at all. And usually it is the 70 that I find. But where's that roll at? Where is that roll? Let's see if I can. Is this it? Nope. Where the heck did I put them? I've got boxes and already I've got boxes and boxes of coin. Just since April. There's a beaut. I got a roll of 1972 Denver uncirculated nickels in a box. It was a hand rolled box, and the whole box was. I went into the bank and the girl said, "The only thing we have is one box you haven't seen because they mark the boxes after I go through them. Plus, I would know anyhow because they use a different rolling paper. All of the coins I get are from Loomis. I take them back to the bank and then they roll them in a plain blue, well, not plain, but the blue striped paper. Same color as Loomis, but it doesn't say Loomis on it. And the only thing they had that day was had just come in. A merchant brought them in. They hand rolled the entire box of nickels, so I grabbed them and found a few good things. That was the box that I found 7 war nickels in. Usually I've been averaging 2 war nickels a box, and in the last 5 boxes I've not found one, not one war nickel. But I found that 72D, and it's funny too because that was a bank wrapped roll. That was a bank wrapped roll, and it was an old paper. So I assumed that it had been sitting in their safe for a while or something, or on the premises or whatever. I don't know, but I don't think it was anything they rolled because well, obviously not. It was bank wrapped, but just the idea that they even brought it in, I guess it wasn't worth anything to them. It was just a roll of nickels. I don't even know what is a 72. What's a roll of 72 D's uncirculated go for? Probably not a lot. You can get a roll of 64 BUs. You can get a roll of 64 proofs for, I don't know what, 19, 18, 19, 21 bucks. 64 has also got a double die, and I've mentioned this in a previous video. I was watching coin ops. There's an 82 that looks uncirculated. I was watching coin ops, one of his videos, and he showed the 64. I think I've mentioned this twice already, but I kept looking at it. He had a good close-up shot of it, nice clear close-up, but I don't see it. I mean, I know it's there, obviously, but it's more like that shadow of a. Look at all this loose junk up here I've got to go through. Look at all this. These are. Oh yeah, there's more over here. I've got a lot of what is they're calling the grease error. I need to really uh, scrutinize over each one and figure out if they really are. And I'm going to go to somebody who's been collecting forever and ask him to, because I don't take errors lightly, and I don't think that everything that is called an error is an error. If that were the case, you could probably almost find an error on half the coins that are minted nowadays. Because it just seems like every time you turn around, there's a new error, and it I don't know. It's there's 16, or I'm sorry, 10 new errors for the. I just read somewhere, I don't remember, for the year 2017. There's 10 new errors on the nickels. I haven't looked at the list of them to see what they are, but you know, a lot of thing. Another thing too that in 2009, I don't care, it's all rusted already. A lot of people will see a coin that's extremely shiny on the reverse and not look at it. Yeah, I did that with a. Actually, it was a 59. It was a 59D a while back. It was just looked like a brand new penny. And I thought, well, I'll flip it over anyhow, which I do. You know, now I do. I flip all the pennies over to check the dates because of the errors and variations. But it it was a 59D, and I thought, holy cow, that's as close to being uncirculated as you can get. The shield pennies, I don't bother flipping over. I don't even like them. They're ugly. See how much copper sitting there? There's a 70 that's very lustrous. Kind of toned, but it's kind of worn too. A little bit. What do we got left? 10 rolls. I'm not getting through these as fast as I normally do. I found 2 wheats since I started. 10 rolls left. I started with 28. So in 18 rolls, I found 2 wheats. That is horrible. But, you know, everybody's pulled them out. I think even a lot of the younger kids today see one and take it home and say, Mom, what's this? It looks weird. And I suppose it does. But boy, oh boy, in '66, you lay out a roll like this, and there you'd throw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of what's out here back into the pile because of the memorial. The rest of them would be wheats. Wall had a good idea. He started 1961. He started 1961. He went to the bank every day for a while, and then his wife was yelling at him, "Is that all you're going to do is look at coin?" But he'd been a coin collector anyhow for years before that, and he pulled every wheat out. And back then, that was that was a lot of money. It really was. $50 bag of pennies, and he's probably pulling out 30, 32, $34 out of every bag. They were still all wheats out there. Just when the memorial came, they didn't expect wheats to really be worth something that people would want to collect them that quickly. And he probably got most of what was available in New York, Western New York, at the time he started collecting and going through the bags. All right, I dropped one. I finally dropped one tonight. Oh boy. Do I see a wheat? I don't know. Now it's not exciting. It's not. I wouldn't say it's exciting to find a wheat. It's kind of neat to find a wheat, but back then it was. It was just, God, Walt, do I have to pull all these pennies out? Because that's all we did. We pulled them all out, and they were all wheats. Going through dimes, Mercury dimes were still pretty readily available in circulation. Whoops, over there. Um, Lots of Buffalo nickels. Not lots, but several per $50. Um, Silver wasn't that hard to find. It really wasn't. But when silver started going up, everybody started hoarding, and the come on. late 70s when silver skyrocketed. People were mortgaging their homes to buy silver and gold, and then it dropped, and they lost everything they'd worked for. You can't do it like that. You buy low and don't buy high. There were a couple of guys at Luke Air Force Base that did that, and both of them lost their homes. Well, didn't lose. One guy did. The guy with help from his family was able to save his home, but he mortgaged his home to buy gold, and it dropped. Look at all that copper junk. 136, 100. What is it? 130. How many copper pennies? 1982, pre-82. How many does it take to make a pound? I should know that. I should be something that stays in my head all the time. Here comes a metal detecting find over there. That's what it looks like. But the pile that, I don't know if the camera can, I don't have, no. That pile there. Can't help with a delay. YouTube's going to have a delay because it has to process the stream before it sends it to you. So there's going to ultimately be a delay, even though the delay is shut off and everything else. But that pile of pennies there is what would have been, and then some, the wheats out of the $50 bag in the 60s and 70s. And maybe even into the 80s. I don't know. I don't know when they really started getting scarce or when people were pulling them all out. I think I just threw a coin in there I shouldn't have without looking at it closer. Right there. It's got to go over there. Flooding in Texas is pretty bad, isn't it? I was watching quite a few videos today. Watched the rescue efforts. And, a lot of the firemen. And then you got these scumbags that are out there and are impersonating firemen and policemen, telling people there's in one city, at one area of Texas, they were going around saying it was a mandatory evacuation, which it wasn't in that community. They were only doing it so they could go in and loot. They caught a couple of them, 59. But that's a shame. We had a flood here where I live in 1972, Hurricane Agnes. It was bad here. A lot of us volunteered to help out and do what we could, and then we were hired on a crew to clean all the debris up and everything else after the waters receded. But what's going on in Houston is pretty bad. People are losing everything, but as long as they can get out of it unscathed, that's the more important thing, you know. You don't want to lose your material stuff, but you don't want to lose your life either. But these guys that are going out there and impersonating officials to loot, and I don't know. And then you get on some of these videos and you watch what's going on, and you read the comments on the side. What the heck is wrong with people? They got to bring politics into it and bring in Trump and Clinton and Obama. You know what? The heck with them all. Nobody's going to be happy, it seems, and we aren't going to talk about politics, so we'll get off that right now. I'm running out of room here. I'm encroaching in my workspace here. It's easy to get through these when you got a lot of shield pennies. I don't have to look at them. But I'm sure if I do some research, which I haven't done, I'm sure there's errors on them too. Yeah. 2009 low mintage. Don't see them in Western New York very many. I have almost a roll of 2009s since I started this in 99. What are you doing? In April. Now there's an 85, and I got an 85 yesterday. It looked exactly like this, like it's the whole coin is frosted. It's pretty bad on the back. Whew. Now look at this. 5 rolls left. My next video, and 99% of the people that watch videos aren't going to hear me say this, so I'll say it anyhow. Next video is going to be a giveaway, but it'll be announced anyhow prior. I don't know what, maybe a proof coin. Who knows? Four more rolls, and this will be done. Oops. I want to throw that one away. Gotta look at that one. Wow, that's pitiful. For wheats, anyhow. Ah. Huh. A lot of these older coins have a lot of luster. Must be the bicentennial. Yeah. Canadian. For a minute, I thought I had an error coin with no date on it. Ah, nuts. I hate these rolls. It's an old Canadian again, 1947. Don't find many from Canada that are old. They're usually newer coins in 2000s even. There's a 56D. Another week. Wow. Paper's still sitting there. Whoops. 70D. 3 more rolls. I'm going to zoom to the last 3. There's a wheat. What do we got? 1944. One of the most common errors to find. Ah, boy, you get a, I get a, kind of like a sore throat going through these things. Some guys won't touch them without gloves. I scrub the heck out of my hands afterwards, though. That's for sure. Seems like these last two rolls are taking forever. I don't know. Yeah. There's a 1950 Canadian. Oh boy. Wow. Strange. No copper in this roll. How is that possible? I've been averaging about 8 to 10 a roll. There's a 71. It's pretty much, oops, wrong pile. 3 piles here. Pretty much BU. Look at that. That's, oops, just 2. 3. There's only 3 coppers. Well, 4 coppers. Hey, 4 coppers in that roll. Last roll. Oh, 1 hour to do 28 rolls. That's crazy. Okay. $71 Canadian. And this is it. The heck? Huh. Looks pretty strange. That's it. For 11 weeks. 11 weeks out of this box. And let's see. It used to be a $50 box back then. Now it's 25. We got 1958, 56D of 44, of 46 Philadelphia, 56D of 55, Philadelphia 54 and 45, Philadelphia 52D, a 1940 Philadelphia, and a 1942. That looks nuts. 1942. That's it. 11 weeks. Not too many watch tonight, but thanks for watching if you do watch us, and after the stream is over. And the next one will have a giveaway. Don't know what, but it will be advertised before it happens. Good luck, and see you on the next video.